As this is a British show, these should probably be hero rabbits. International Ninja Rabbits, a 1991 game from MicroValue, a budget game, and released at $3.99 on the 8-bits. Not sure the price on 16 bits, probably I'm guessing $7.99 perhaps, slightly cheaper. A follow-up to the original Ninja Rabbits game. Let's start on the C64. And a reviewer on Lemon64 called Kevin says, possibly the best graphics ever seen on the C64. Well, I'm looking forward to this, to the best graphics ever seen on the C64. And we kick off, and it is colourful, and a panda is walking towards me. I'm the rabbit on the left. There is no music, and there's not much in the way of sound effects so far. The panda is just standing there, and he now is punching me. I'm being punched by a panda. So I've got some Ninja Rabbit moves, which appear to be more like dancing, but... and it's very apparent immediately that I cannot turn left and walk the other way. My rabbit can only face in one direction. So the panda isn't doing much. I'm on the easy setting, but the panda just stands there and punches you. I've gone down. We're underground. There's something like something pink with a stick attacking me. I think it's a man with a headband on and a stick. The carrot that's rapidly vanishing on the bottom left represents my energy, and I have 7 lives, except I'm on infinite lives. The things falling down can't be destroyed but will sap your energy. Over to the Spectrum, and the Ninja Rabbit looks rather distressed. Now, I've loaded this on the 128K, but I'm getting 48K music, but when I check on the RZX archive footage, there is 128K music on the menu screen, so I don't know what's going on here. But we will press on. Again, 3 difficulty levels. I'm going on easy. So there's something walking towards me. And it's rather slow. And the same something is walking towards me again. They just walk towards you, the enemies, and then stop and don't walk any further. So we go down that hole, and we just appear down here. And oh no, there's things in the foreground that, like sticks of rock, that prevent you from seeing what's going on. So now I'm completely behind something. This is super helpful, programmers. Super helpful that you can't see what you're actually doing. Walking along, and yet, sure enough, the vole, rat, hamster, Kevin the gerbil, who knows, dressed up as a ninja, walks out and tries to attack him. I've got to go up the steps. Let's try and climb that ladder. No, we don't have any climbing animation. You just appear at the top of the ladder. Amstrad version. Same distressing loading screen as the Spectrum. And this is the same music as the 128K Spectrum. By the way, it's 48K sound effects only once you're into the game on the Specky. That's not just my version, that is on the 128K version I saw running on the RZX Archive YouTube channel. Do check that out. They do run-throughs of all sorts of games on there. So we've loaded the level. So yes, it is a multi-load. And it's got a bit more colour than the Specky version. So you can actually see more of what's going on, but it's even slower. The Kevin the gerbil is coming towards me. Now you might say, Chinny, well, you're running this on the easiest difficulty setting, which I am. All that does is affect how many hits it takes to kill off the enemies. That is it. They don't become more intense. Well, they have a little bit more violence, but they still just stand there. So can we get down the hole before the Kevin the gerbil comes towards me as we plod along? Pressing down, can't go down. No, I'm going to have to kill him. You have limited moves. It's not like most fighting games where you've got quite a few moves. You can kick down, kick towards them, punch them, and you can pull a weapon out, which is quite hard to do, and you can jump. But You cannot, under any circumstances, ever turn left. Atari ST. And a sampled tune. And if you're thinking the samples sound familiar, I'll let you try and guess who the developer of this game was. It's a developer who liked to use the same sample pack over and over again. And off we go on the ST where it is raining. And we've got two pandas walking towards us. And we're going to kick the pandas. There's a dragon flying around for reasons I don't understand. At various points in all the versions, bonuses will drop from the sky. And you have to kick them. And you won't know what the bonus is until you kick it. I got 100 points there. But it can be instant death. Yes, you can get a bonus and you don't know what it is. And you activate it and you die. Got the Dragon Man there. It's again on the ST version you do have some pace at last. And you do have an animation of dropping down, but you still have vases or other droplets things dropping on your head to sap your energy. And now we've got something I haven't seen on the 8-bit versions. 2 different enemies on the screen at the same time, or different types of enemies. Amiga version. And off we go, looking identical to the ST. And samples, just same sample over and over and again. What will this bonus be? Will it be instant death? No, it's shields. I've got 3 shields. Yes, the developer on the 16-bits at least is Flare Software, who gave us games like Mr. Blobby and Oscar, and their continual use of the same sample packs when they're putting sound effects together for the game. It looks like quite a Flare game. It's got a... Well, it's an earlier game, isn't it? And a more basic budget game with the status panel at the bottom, the nice flashy water effects that they seem to have got a routine to do. And here on the Amiga and the ST as well, you end up behind objects, not really being able to see what's going on. The only reason I can see this game... Oh, just more objects. The only reason this game drops things out of the sky in the underground levels, and I really am not sure what they actually are, is just to make it harder. So you're just continually sapped of energy. So I can't see it now. Now I can see what's going on. Another dragon, another panda. There's only ever seems to be 2 different levels, different baddies per level. Back to the C64, where things are very colourful if you're suddenly aware of how slow it is compared to the 16-bit versions. But I mean, it's clearly not the best-looking C64 game ever, unless you've only ever played games from 1983. It looks nice, though. It does look nice. It looks colourful. Some good shading there. Oh, look, it's Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Before Raiden was a thing. And there's Raiden again. There was a teacher at our school called Raiden, which was obviously hilarious. Ray Den, Mr. Den, Mr. Ray Den. It's very boring. It's a very boring and limited fighting game. You do the same thing. You wander along a couple of screens, you go down, underground, then you come up again. And it's just boring. That was the end of level 1 in C64. Back to the Amstrad version, where things are absolutely lethargic. I'm beating up a bad guy behind this giant stick of rock pillar. What is it? Does anybody know? Are there ruins underneath the city? And here we are again. No animation for climbing. Here's Stoat Man. I've got to beat him up. There could be spot colour on the sprites on the CPC, but they haven't bothered. Come to think of it, there could be in-game music on the CPC. Well, there could be lots of things on all these versions. Not many magazines reviewed this game. Can't see any Spectrum magazines got hold of it, and I don't think the Amstrad magazines did either. However, copies did go to the C64 magazines. Zap gave it 67%. Commodore format, same month, March 92, gave it 32%. And now I've got to load level 2. So we're back on the Atari ST. And it's just so bad. I just can't. There's a PC version of this game. And I'm a bit pressed for time at the moment. And I've seen the videos of it online. I've dared now. And I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Amiga version. Coming towards the end of level 1. I do not know what that dragon does. I've got no... Someone translate all that writing on the screen. Is it authentic or they just made something up? Level 2 is a snow level. I think you're in New York where it's snowing. And you know it's going to follow the same layout, right? Going to kick that. What is it? No, it's death. Okay, you don't lose an entire life, but you lose most of your energy. What a great power-up. How lovely. And now we've got dogs to beat up. Wait, is that Schnorbits? Is Bernie Winters going to turn up? That would lift the game. Bernie Winters turning up in the game. The baddies always have the same moves, really. Right, is that going to mean more death? No, this time I've got shields. What are these bottles dropping from the sky? It could be water drops or something, or acid. I don't know. Why? Why is any of this happening? Why am I punching a dog? What's that? What is even that thing? There's a raccoon. I'm beating up a raccoon. I'm dead. Amstrad version. Now, what is this? It's a man with a baseball cap who walks very slowly and then just falls over. And here's the dog. He looks like Clifford in the big red dog, except it's not red. Redwood, obviously not. They wouldn't kind of have those kind of palette choices in this kind of game. It would overwhelm the senses from the excitement of having anything other than white for the baddies. I mean, why are the baddies always just... It's an Amstrad. You could have some colour in here. Why? I mean, the palette choices are bizarre. I mean, the green, the yellow, and the blue in the background. You've got more visual interest in the background than you have on the sprites. The last time I saw sprites this white, the game was produced by the Ku Klux Klan. This is ridiculous. C64 version where we at least, well, we have some colour, we have some nice animation. They've done a nice... The rabbit isn't animated nicely. A little bit blocky. And we've actually... Oh, look, we've got a nice power-up. We've got energy. The C64 version. Who's that? Is that Homer Simpson? Is that the prehistoric Homer Simpson we saw in one episode of The Simpsons? The fighting is just terrible. The enemies will just kind of generally repeat the same moves over and over at you. They, as I say, get to a certain point of the screen, they will never move any further, and you have to walk towards them. So it's a very basic fighting game. It's they move to position, they just keep on throwing out punches or what have you as soon as you get within a certain distance of them. See, I can't turn around. Why can't I walk the other way? Why can my character only ever face right, even on the 16-bit versions? Back to the Spectrum version, this is level 2. And, well, we just kind of got some colour clash hell going on where it looks like my background, my sprite's head is completely detached from the body. That's the end of level 2. On to level 3. Why not separate this? I don't know. Everything about I'm dead. everything about this is perplexing. I just... Why is it so bad? It's not major decisions they need to take. They've got something here. They do have something. They have a reasonable budget game within their grasp. And it just feels shoddy, lackluster, like a demo for something they're going to further develop. Was it a full price game that they could never get off the ground properly, so they put it out of budget? I mean, I can't remember. Can anyone remember seeing MicroValue games on the budget shelves? I've heard of MicroValue as a label, but I just don't remember seeing them, you know, unless I'm misremembering, alongside the likes of Codemasters, Mastertronic, Hit Squad, and so on. And yes, the game's only $3.99, so, you know, it's unfair to complain too much, I guess, but there is something within their grasp, and stupid decisions like putting items at the foreground so now you can't see. This is so easily preventable. Level 3 on the C64. I think it's Italy. There's pizza. Is that supposed... I mean, clearly it's a Ninja Turtles rip-off with rabbits to cash in on that. But... well, I mean, Ninja Turtles, this is 92 when this came out and was reviewed in 64. Well, you know, Ninja Turtles is 1991 thing. But everything was about animals at this time, wasn't it? Doing Sonic rip-offs and so on. Right, so I've got to fight this guy here, who looks like Elton John in the 80s. There you go, Elton's been knocked out. Do I want to go back and get that? No, I don't. Jumping is horrible. Trying to activate it. Oh, hang on, is that bloke is Elton there standing on the edge of the platform? Can I get that up? I can't get up there. Am I? I don't think I'm going to be able to get up there. Do I need a weapon or something? There's no power-ups or other weapons in the game. I want to get this jump right, but I think every time... the way this game works is they just stand there and don't move until you get within a few pixels of them, and then they just hit you. And what's going to happen is I'm going to land and he's going to hit me, or I'm going to land on him. No, you can't. You cannot do it. You can't get any further in the game. I'm sure of it. International Ninja Rabbits. Well, it's a budget game and it's got that as a plus point, but I'm afraid this is dross of the... not the lowest order, but, well, somewhere down there. The problem is, even a poor budget game can be fun in some description, but this isn't fun. After a few screens of this game, you've worked out how this game works. A baddie walks on, they reach a certain point on the screen, you walk up to them. When you get so close, they will start hitting you. You defeat them, you move a bit further on, baddie comes on, rinse, repeat. That's it. There's nothing more exciting going on than that. C64 version at least has some quite nice graphics going for it, and it just feels a little bit better than the other versions in terms of gameplay. It's still slow and it's boring, but there's a little bit of visual appeal, so you wouldn't feel too cheated out with your $3.99. Unfortunately, the Spectrum and Amstrad versions don't have that going for them. They don't have any graphical appeal, they are slow, they are annoying, they are repetitive, they are pretty poor to look at. I was going to say you couldn't imagine Codemasters letting something up like this in this era, but then I remembered Bubble Dizzy on the Spectrum and Amstrad, and yeah, that makes International Ninja Rabbits look really good. ST and Amiga, well, it is an original budget game on platforms that don't have much of a budget scene, barring re-releases, but it's all pretty poor. It's not... I couldn't say it's like a PD game or something like that, a poor PD game, but again, it's just boring. So so boring. And I just lost the will to live when it came to potentially reviewing the IBM PC version, because this is a game that is basically just boring. The thing with International Ninja Rabbit is it's a sequel to an already poor game, and many of the problems with the game are actually fixable, so it could actually just be something, well, average, but in effect what you've got is a very flawed game that is deeply, deeply boring.